Well, chapter 2 was pretty sweet. First thing I thought of was the 3 chances Casper Fifth said to Casper, like, give mercy, basically have Fifth kill Casper to be mercy. And the one time I was definitely like, well, all the times I definitely considered it, but I mean, when Fifth said to Casper, hey, I'll give you the mercy, when they decided to just run for it, when the Ratkana and the Bolt were pursuing, and there was no chance of sanctuary except to just a very desperate run into the wasteland. I was like, yo, maybe if that was me, I probably couldn't perform that. I'd probably need the way out. And then also the thought of, like, if Fifth had ever betrayed Casper and threw him out onto the ice for the Ratkana and Bolt to, kill him, and well, Fifth is a real nice guy for not, and I don't know, it's never know if he thought about it, never know what would happen if he had done it. Chapter 2 was so cool though, when, the scene is Fifth, Casper, Braun, Learn, someone, they're all standing in the ice, wind blowing, it's so cold. They're standing on this, what I think is an island, so they're standing on the rough ground with ice, and they have all those Ratkana, the horde of a Ratkana in front of them, challenging them. It was just so sweet to read. And then Hunor coming up, casting his curse, and then Casper says the curse back, and then the Astartes comes through. And Astartes, that was also the scene where it's like, it's described as in the distance there's this storm, and then suddenly, they can see the storm coming towards them, or the storm starts coming closer to them as Hunor and Casper are casting their curses, and then after Casper does it, they can see a man running in the distance, and Astartes, they all freak out because it's like, oh my gosh, they summoned a demon. That was the whole, motive of the story, is Ratkana and Bolt were like, Casper is a demon. Anyway, so the Astartes comes, literally, how Astartes would be. He kills like 20 people, 30 people by himself, no wounds. And then at some point he pulls out what's described as a box with a handle, and then suddenly that object has the power to shoot lightning and explodes the Bolt's boats, explodes the Ratkana's boats, explodes Hunor, explodes the rest of the forces against them. And all this lightning and heat causes a small ice melt, and out of this ice melt comes a sea monster called a Virash Allure. It's scaled, it's got a fluted tail, it's got a double jaw. It's got one of those double jaws that, that snakes or non-mammals tend to have. And all of these mush veli, which are smaller sea beasts. And The Vrashalur literally wriggles and jumps out of this ice hole, and the Astartes just mortally wounds it. He uses the box to lightning it, and then he uses his axe to cut wounds into it, and he just leaves it wounded for the Mushveli to eat. That was a nice writing of man, a sea monster just comes out of the ice. It smelled the blood and it's got this massive appetite, and within moments of the ice forming, you get the beast point of view, and the beast, within moments of smelling it, arrives, and we learn the demon's name is Bear. He's got a tattooed face and he has fangs. And Bear confesses that he caused the disaster. He caused Casper's ship to go down. And then we get a bit of Fifth having a perspective on an airship. And at first I thought maybe it was more magical, but it's described as having air screaming down from the ship, and that's how it's able to be a ship that rides the wind. And it's described as having jaws that can open, so that's how Bear, Casper, Braun, and Fifth get into the ship, is that jaws are it's described as jaws opening and closing. So it's probably just a Thunderhawk or whatever, but I don't know. There's lots of I was recently reading Elric of Melniboné, and there was a magic ship. I think Odin has a magic ship. Good stuff. It was a great chapter, and then the chapter has another point of view passage of Casper, back on Terra, wanting a different assigned job than being a remembrancer for one of the expeditionary fleets, which I'll talk about later, I guess, maybe